Philip. Welcome,
Thank
Lydia.
you.
Is Lydia your first name?
Yeah, Lydia is okay. My
Or
first name.
Hong Fan?
My Chinese name, first name, but you can call me Lydia. Lydia maybe it's easy to remember.
Can you say your Chinese name so I know how to pronounce it?
Hong Fang.
Hong Fang.
Hong Fang.
Hong Fang.
Yeah, you know, in
Hong
Chinese we have a four accents. There is a Hong Fang. Hong
Fang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes, for your effort.
Can I say it almost sounds like home fun?
Home Fun.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Makes it easy to remember, if you don't mind, of course.
Welcome, Angelica. Welcome,
Hello.
Barbara. I'm just going to be letting people in for a while because there are going to be a few of us apparently. So welcome, Corina. Although we can only.
Thanks a lot, Natasha. Oh, I'm sorry. I would change that. Okay.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you for giving us that opportunity, Natasha.
Oh, pleasure.
Should we keep the microphone on or off?
I think whilst people are arriving, we can keep the microphones on, and if it starts to make a funny hissing sound, then we can just turn them off.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Corina. Hi, Phil.
Ah, hi, Laila. Hi, good to see you.
I was muted. Hi.
Oh, hi, Phil.
Hi, Philip.
Some familiar faces. Wonderful.
Lydia Group. Layla Group, sorry. Oh.
Hello, Prakash.
Hi.
Hi, Prakash.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, welcome. What does Prakash mean?
Ah, good question.
Light.
Light.
We are all looking for Prakash.
Is it like Deepa?
It's light.
Deepa means lantern, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, Diva is just a lantern, but light is all light, you know, sunlight, any light.
Oh,
you know.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful name. Okay, Prakash, your wife is sleeping, so you're going to be quiet. Thank you for telling us. Hello, Adrian. Welcome.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi, hello, everyone.
Hi, Adrian.
Hi.
Hey.
Feel free to chat amongst yourselves whilst people are arriving.
Well, how long has it been? A week already?
Not really.
We finished February 16th, right? No, 14th on the Valentine's Day, right?
Yes, so not even a week then.
Yeah.
We finished on Sunday.
But it seems like it was a month ago.
Doesn't it?
We just got our first vaccination. Me and
Yes.
It is really good news for us. Finally, our son Artyom will be able to go to school offline.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. So no side effect then? No side effects?
No, the first actually went very well.
Super.
Like nothing, only happiness and excitement. We did it finally. We actually expected to do it earlier in next fall. So for us, it's really, when Lancet approved Sputnik, we immediately started to think, how can we do this?
Hi, Graciela.
Hi, Graciela.
Hello.
Hi, Lotta.
Hi, Graciela.
Hello.
Hi, Lotta.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Barbara.
Hello, everybody. I'm so shy. So, Oksana, did you get the Sputnik?
Yes, we did. We just did.
Okay. Okay. I'm stuck in Brazil so far. They have the Chinese one, the Sinovac.
Don't know anything about that. We actually did not believe it will be possible, but after Lancet approved, we just decided to do it because it's available and it is
Right.
good.
It's great that it's available in France. They're only giving shots to, I think, elderly. You have to be more than 75 years old,
Wow.
or
Wow.
in a medic, or you know, like a doctor or a nurse, or. So,
We're
Hi,
doing well.
Joaquin.
We're doing well in the UK actually.
How
so
again?
far.
What I heard.
Yeah. So yeah, we've done well in UK. We're about 15.5 million now vaccinated.
yes, that's amazing.
So now we can just book it and go and have a jab, you know.
Wow.
Wow.
Not bad.
Wow, that's great.
Hi, Elena.
Hi, Lena.
Привет, Оксан. Hi.
Lena, привет. We are actually very happy to see you all because this is first meeting of our first season, Creative Mind, Generative Coaching, Creative Meetings. And it's our charming Natasha is very kind to open this season. I really want to welcome her to this opening, and we are really looking forward. You probably today you already got your letter. It was for generative coaching participants, also Creative Mind participants, about all these interesting meetings we are looking forward to. So those upcoming meetings, almost every week, couple meetings, and they're all really interesting. They're all free, and they're all about the work of leaders in the frame of generative coaching, generative change in business, generative trends, creative mind, and everything which is interconnected in this approach. Because when you study in one branch and the other one, it's impossible and undesirable to split, right? The work is whole, right, Natasha? So we thought it will be just really good to welcome both generative coaching and creative mind, are both more active communities right now. So, and I'm welcoming all of you. All videos will be uploaded on the International IGC YouTube channel, and also on Creative Mind YouTube channel with Stephen Gilligan's permission and Robert Dill's permission. And right now I am pass the word, the flame, to our Natasha. Welcome and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Oksana. Oksana, can you see when people enter the waiting room? Can you see that as co-host?
Yes, I will admit them.
Oh, thanks. That's really helpful because then I can just bring my attention here. Thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone. I'm going to make a request that everyone comes on screen unless you're exceptionally shy and don't want to be recorded. It just gives me a sense of who's here in the space. Great. Okay, so you all do know that this is being recorded. So if you're going to share any secrets, don't share them here, basically, is my advice. Okay, so I thought, seeing as we don't have very long to be together, I'm not going to do a little go-round with you all. I thought instead what we could do is, no, I've just said something, I'm going to change my mind. We could just go around and maybe say our name and 3 words about how we're doing today, something about how we're doing now. So I'll start. My name's Natasha, and I feel nervous, excited, and yeah, quite grounded, quite grounded. And I'm going to pass to Kamna. And maybe Kamna, afterwards you pass so that it goes round relatively quickly. Unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kamna. I am extremely excited to be here in Natasha's group. I'm feeling optimistic and curious about the session. Thank you. And I'll pass it to Angela, who is looking into my eyes just now.
Thank you, Kamna. So my name is Angela, and I feel pretty quiet, curious, and yeah, a bit nervous too, for no reason.
And maybe I'll just pass it on to Fiona, shall I? I'll just do the passing.
Hi everybody, I'm Fiona, and it's lovely to be part of this group, having been part of the bigger group. So I'm feeling very excited, a little bit nervous, and curious. Yeah, that's a good word, curious.
Thank you. Karina.
My name is Karina. I'm also excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity you give us and all the others, and I'm curious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara.
My name's Barbara. I'm glad to meet you all in a smaller setting where I might get to know some people, and good to know some people that are interested in the same things. Thank you.
Angelica.
Yeah, my name is Angelica, and I thought, wow, I don't know how I feel, but definitely I'm curious, but it's more a neutral state, looking forward and being interested in what comes up. Yeah.
Thank you. Philip.
Hi, yeah, I'm Philip. I'm feeling actually inspired because I was working a lot before this. I came on and I finally hatched my program that I want to present to the world. So I'm really excited to be in this group. This is all very integral to what I'm doing. So yeah, looking forward to this.
Thank you. Leila.
So I'm Leila. I'm happy, I feel supportive, and I feel curious as well.
Great. Om Prakash. Oh, can you talk?
I'm Om. I'm very happy to be here. I just got the mail 1 minute back, 2 minutes back, and I came and joined. Thank you. Thanks.
Prakash.
Yeah.
I pass on to you.
Yeah, I'm feeling calm, grateful for the community that we have, and the sharing that we are able to do, and eager to learn new ways of sort of, implementing the practices.
Great, thank you. Adrian?
Hi, everyone. I'm Adrian, and I'm feeling very happy because the flowers are growing in the garden. So I feel my heart is full of beauty. So I'm very happy to see you all.
Thank you. Loda? Unmute yourself.
Yes. I feel grateful and curious too. I'm very open and connected. It was 4. I'm sorry for that.
Thank you. Elena?
I'm really glad to be here, and I feel grateful, happy, and quite centered.
Thank you. Francis?
Hi, Francis. I'm really interested in what you're going to be doing this afternoon and thankful for the people who organize this. I'm curious as well and a bit reflective.
Thank you. Hong Fang. Sorry.
Yeah, please call me Lydia. It's okay, Lydia. Okay. My name is Lydia. I'm feeling happy and also a little excited. And also I have, yes, curious. about this workshop.
Thank you. Hiya.
Hi. My name is Haya. I feel grounded, very interested, and happy to see all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Joaquin.
My name is Joaquin, and I feel very hungry of focusing. Very.
Okay, thank you. Graciela.
My name is Graciela, and I am very happy and curious.
Thank you. Tamar.
Hi. First of all, I'm very grateful that I can be here. I hope I probably will have to go out and get my kids to bed in a little while and then jump back. Very excited and really wanna, and also to just see some familiar faces and just, yeah, to go deeper into the work. Yeah, thanks for doing it.
Thank you. Alex.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, similarly, really grateful for this opportunity to connect and practice. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have in store for us. It's good to meet everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. And Oksana.
Hello, dear friends and colleagues. I'm so happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here with you. I feel like in front of our community, it's really interesting, creative future of connections and the mutual explorations together. And I feel excited and I feel kind connection to everyone, and also very grateful Natasha that she gathered us together. I will be with you all the time. Time to time I will turn my video off, but I will be also try to support as a video operator this meeting. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you. And then Christina is walking, so she's not going to join in right now, but she will do later. Okay, so I'll give you a little frame for our time together. We're going to do quite a lot of practice, and the practice will be in breakout rooms. And the format will be that I'll do a demo with somebody, you'll go and practice, come back, we'll share, and we'll do it again, a bit like that. So to begin with, I wanted to share two quotes with you. One is from Eugene Gendlin, who was the man that set up the focusing approach, which is what this session is focused on today. So yeah, I kind of love this quote, and it also makes me tremble every time I read it. So it goes, what is true is already so. Owning up to it doesn't make it worse. Not being open about it doesn't make it go away. And because it's true, it's what is there to be interacted with. Anything untrue isn't there to be lived. People can stand what is true, for they are already enduring it. Yeah. So that's Eugene Gendlin, sounding very sober. And then I wanted to follow that on with a quote from Pema Chodron, because I found that in doing this work for myself and with others, I've really needed to focus on what is called, I think it's a Sanskrit word. Is Maitri a Sanskrit word? Maitri. Yeah, Maitri or metta, which clumsily translated into English is loving kindness, but it would be more of a universal loving kindness. So my sense is that when we're experimenting in truth finding within ourselves, within the sensing body, we need to have a fair amount of loving kindness towards ourselves, compassion towards ourselves in order to be able to do that. So this is a really beautiful quote about this quality, which in Buddhist practice is referred to as Maitri or Metta. And if you like, I can share these quotes with you in an email if you're interested. So this also makes me tremble. These have been my trembling quotes for the year. When we think of Maitri, usually we think of qualities like gentleness, kindness, compassion, tender-heartedness, non-judgmental attitude. But one should realize that a very, very important part of Maitri is honesty. This journey of Maitri is very much away from self-deception, away from the tendency to avoid what is really going on. It begins with making friends with what's going on in your own mind, with your own emotions, and in your own body. Generally speaking, when we look closely at anything, our judgments go along with it. And this is particularly true when we look closely at ourselves. So I find in myself there's a longing to not want to harm myself anymore through judgments, for example, and also a longing not to be imprisoned by my habits. And alongside this, a huge need for compassion for oneself. Often people want to skip over the honesty and be really sweet to themselves. But Maitri isn't about feeling good. Maitri is feeling what you feel with a compassionate attitude and extreme honesty. Yeah. So now I'm just going to give you a really short description of focusing. I'm a woman that likes to make notes, and these are the notes that I've written. So I think of focusing as not being a charismatic practice. And I imagine that when I'm at a party, there might be someone there that I least want to talk to because they're not very charismatic. I don't want to come across as really superficial here, but focusing is like me standing in the queue for the toilet with the person I least want to talk to at the party, and then realizing they're the most important person at the party for me to talk to. That is what focusing has been like for me. So my sense of it is that it's a slow revealer. It's deceptively simple. And then over time, it reveals such complexity and nuance. Now, we've only got an hour and a half together, probably now. I'm not looking at the clock. So we're not going to be able to sort of reach into those horizons in that hour and a half. But my aim together is to kind of set up the conditions around which focusing can flourish. Yeah. So we'll do some preparatory practices which are not focusing proper, but which set up the conditions into which focusing can arise. So one thing you need to know about focusing is that it's in the body. If you're not in the body, basically you're not focusing. It's as simple as that. So everything that happens in the focusing paradigm is happening in the body. And what do I want to say about that? What I want to say about that is that about 2 months ago, I was asked to lead a focusing. I don't know who to look at. There's so many of your faces. I'm going to just pick a face. I'm going to pick Angela. I'm going to look at Angela so I don't feel like I'm just staring at nobody. Yeah, so a few months ago, Angela, I was invited to teach focusing to a group of Turkish women. Now, I don't think that them being Turkish has anything to do with the story. It's just that they were a group of Turkish women. And what I realized quite quickly is that I was making a lot of assumptions about how in contact with people's bodies people can be. Yeah, so sometimes I would make these offerings to these women in this group, and they'd say, yeah, but I would say, what's happening in the body? And they say, I can't feel my body. I don't know how to feel my body. What are you talking about? And at the moment, I'm working in a group where half of, I don't really want to talk about gender. I won't talk about gender, but there's a person in the group, and he often says, I just don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about physical sensations. So to begin with, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about embodiment. And I'm just going to, I think Oksana's letting Tamar back into the room. So it's my sense, I made a little note about this, that when we talk about embodiment, often we can make the assumption is that you have a sense of your body from the inside of the body. However, there are also ways to sense the body from outside of the body. Yeah, so I'm just going to invite you all. I'm hoping that you can all hear some sounds. Can you? Who can't hear? Who can hear a sound? Put your hand up. Okay, so some of you are in very quiet spaces, I see. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is best done in a field, I'd just like to say, but for the purposes of being in the evening in the winter, we can do it indoors. So I'm just going to invite you to just maybe settle down into your sitting bones a little bit. Sometimes I like to wiggle my hips to get myself down a bit. Yeah, and I'm just going to open my ears and see what is the sound that's furthest away that I can hear. Yes, so for me, that might be the sound of the wind blowing outside, and at the moment it feels like it's in this direction. So I'm just going to invite you to wherever you can hear that sound that's furthest away, maybe just gesture with your arms towards which direction it sort of roughly is. And obviously if it's all around, then you might make a gesture a bit like this. And then I'm just going to invite you to find a sound which is a little closer to the body. So for me, it's the sound of the light humming in the kitchen. And it's just coming from here. And then I'm just going to invite you to see if you can hear a sound which is closer to you. So for me, that's the sound of my own voice. Yeah. So what I love about sound is that it's outside of the body, but it's also inside of the body. So you could say that it's a way of connecting with the body, but it's a way of connecting with the body using the context within which we find ourselves. I just feel like it's really important that we can find simple ways to come back to the body. And sound is a really simple way of arriving back to the body. Every sound that we can hear, it might sound really obvious, but it's always in the present moment. And it's always offering to us a sense of spaciousness. So sound is located in the context and it offers spaciousness to us alongside a sense of something happening here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a little bit of a moving practice together. And the reason I'm doing that is because when it's the winter and we're in the middle of a pandemic, my tendency is to go a little bit frozen. And in order to do this practice, my sense is that you need to be a little bit more, there needs to be a bit of flow happening in the body. So there are loads of different ways that you can do that, but the one that we're going to do is I'm just going to share with you a practice called Dao En, and I'm going to invite you, if you can, to stand up. Obviously, if you can't, then do it sitting down. Improvise. And I'm just going to turn my screen around so you can see what I'm doing. Great. hear me because I'm taking off my headphones. Can you hear me? Great.
The sound is worse.
Yeah, it is worse, but I can't do it
if
without my
you use your
headphones.
microphone, it would be better because of the practice quality.
All right. I'll try and do it with my headphones
generations. Yeah, that's
yeah. Okay.
That's great.
So when you're standing, can you stand with your feet hip width apart if you're standing? And I just want you to soften your knees. Just encourage you to keep your knees soft. And eyes, make sure that your eyes are sort of soft. So you're not really looking at anything specific. Although you might be looking at me, but see if you can keep them soft as well. And ideally, I'm going to be asking you to stand up whilst we're doing this, but I'm going to come down so you can see what I'm doing, various parts of the body. So we're just going to start with tapping the top of our heads. And I wonder if there's a way that we can do that whilst allowing our shoulders not to be too tight. Yeah? And some people like to do that hard, and some people like to do that a bit softer. So we're just kind of sort of waking up the tops of our heads there. And see if you can keep breathing as you're doing that. And then we're just going to get our hands like this, and we're just going to gently swipe our hands across our foreheads, something like this. And no need to rush, just a gentle waking up of the forehead. There you go. And if your shoulders are aching, you can always just let your hands drop down to your side. This isn't an endurance exercise. And then we're just going to get our fingers and we're just going to pinch our eyebrows from the inside to the outside. So this should feel quite nice. I quite like this. There we go. Something from the inside to the outside. Perfect. And then now I'm just going to do this thing where I just sort of swoop around the side of my eyes like this. So you go from the inside to the outside here. There you go. And then I'm just going to find my jaw somewhere around here and give it a little hello. A little massage on the side here like this. Yeah. So any touch that we're doing at the moment, we're just seeing if we can do that in a way that feels good to the body. Yeah. We're just remembering ourselves to the body. Now I'm going to find my ears. Quite easy to find. I'm just going to pull my ears, the top, and then down in the earlobes there. Give them a little pinch, waking up the earlobes. And then I'm just going to put my hands on the back of my neck, the bottom of my skull there, and just give that a little kind of rub or a kind of cupping movement like this. Just waking up there. Okay. So then we can just let our hands drop down to our sides, just check that our feet are still hip width apart and that our knees are still soft. And then I'm just going to invite you to bring your hand into your elbow and just gently tap across your shoulder here. There we go. And then we're going to put the hand out and we're going to either cup down the arm and back up the arm like this, or we're going to pat. So we do whatever feels best for us. And we do that 3 times. So down one way and up the other way. Remembering to breathe. And then we just bring the other elbow into the other hand and we just pat across the shoulder there. And then down one side, up the inside. Or just cupping down one side, up the inside. Sometimes I like to imagine that I'm a horse and I'm just touching myself like I would a horse. Yeah, something of that contact that I really like. And then we come here to the chest. I'm going to just lift up my piece here, and we just tap across the front here. And you can do that with 2 hands or 1 hand, and you can make a noise if you feel like it or not. Somewhere we're just waking up around here. Also, you could probably hear my dogs waking up. And then bring your hand down to your belly. Here's my belly. We're just going to give our belly a bit of a rub here in a clockwise direction. And then we're just going to come round to the kidneys, which are somewhere here, and we're just going to gently rub the kidneys. Yeah, just giving them a little rub, keeping the knees soft. And you might want to do that more vigorously or more gently. Okay, I'm going to stand up for this next bit. So you need one leg in front of the other. Here's my one leg. And we're just going to pat with down to the ankles and then back up 3 times. And if that's difficult for you, stick your foot up on a chair and do it. Yeah, so make it easier. So we just pat a bit like we did with the arms. And then you swap over. Pat down the other leg there and up. 3 times. And I'm realizing that I missed the bottom. So I just put my hands into fists like this with my thumbs inside, and I just give my, flesh on the back of my bum there a bit of a whack. There we go. And then when we've done that, what we do is we just brush our bodies like a little sweep, like we're sweeping the body. I mean, some of you that do Tai Chi or Qigong, you probably know how to do this really well. It's just a very basic exercise to get the circulation moving in the body. And you might want to do it across your face as well. Oh, one thing I really love is that to finish off, I just really love to give my hair a good scrunch. And I sort of imagine that all of those crazy thoughts are somehow kind of moving out of my head. And then sometimes I grab my hair and I wiggle my scalp to make sure there's a bit of movement between the scalp and the skull. Something a bit like that. Okay, so let's come and sit back down. I tell you, it's really odd having all your microphones off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just do a little demo because I can't stand the silence, and we'll move on from there. Who wants to be my demo partner? Don't worry, I don't bite. Angela, thank you. Okay, so would everybody be happy to turn off of their videos whilst Angela and I just do this very simple demo together? Thank you. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you to you.
Okay, so we're going to do a little practice, and we're going to do it once, and then we're going to do it twice with a slight variation. And I'm wondering if you want, so one of us is going to be the companion, and we're just going to ask the question, what's happening now? And then the person that answers the question answers as best they can from the felt sense in the body. So when I say the felt sense in the body, that can include things like sound, temperature, the light coming through the eyes. But it can also be a bit of fluttering in my tummy or tension in my solar plexus or something happening in my throat. So it doesn't, you don't have to worry about whether it's whether the senses are located out there or in here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So either you can ask me or I can ask you.
I start asking if it's okay.
That's fine with me. Yeah. I'm just going to shout at my dogs to get them to stop barking. Hang on. I'll be back in literally about 15 seconds. Rosa! Sorry, didn't want to have them barking. Okay, so when I say, yeah, I'm ready, then you can ask me. And yeah, I just tell you, and then you can ask me again, and then I'll tell you, and you can ask me again.
Okay. And the question is, what's happening now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's happening now?
What's happening now? So, dear Natasha, what's happening now?
I can hear dogs wagging their tails near me.
What's happening now?
Yeah, I notice my breath quite high up in my chest.
And what's happening now?
I can hear the sound of the light in the kitchen.
And now, what is it happening now?
A bit of kind of feels like dizziness in my head.
And what's happening now?
I can feel the cool breeze because the front door is open.
And what's happening now?
A bigger breath came into my body.
And what's happening now?
Okay, so I'm just going to come to the end of that, showing that to everybody. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
So we're going to do it again, so don't go away from me. Time, where are we? Let's get everyone back on. Thank you, Angela. So I'm just wondering if anyone has any questions about what we were doing there or observations before we go into breakout rooms and try that out. Yes, Fiona.
So you asked the question and the answer is just one thing at a time?
Yeah, one thing at a time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
How often should we ask each other?
Well, a bit maybe at the pace that Angela was doing it, just for the first go.
Okay.
Philip. Philip?
When you were asked the question, do you seek something else in your experience, or if like the thing you just said was still the most prominent, you say that?
Yeah, good question. No, you just go with whatever is offering itself to you in that moment. So if it's I keep hearing the buzzing in the kitchen, then I just stick with I keep hearing the buzzing in the kitchen. But if then I notice the breeze, I go with the breeze. And the question is, what is happening now? What's happening now? And as the companion, you try and ask it with a sense of curiosity. Yeah, so it's not like, what's happening now? It's more of a, what's happening now? Something a bit
engaged.
Like that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll give that a go. I'm just going to look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rooms. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to do that with, hang on, how many people have we got? 26. Okay, I'm going to assume that the people that I can't see also want to do this, and I'm going to set up 13 breakout rooms. my suggestion is that we do this 2 minutes one way, and then we swap round and we do it 2 minutes the other way. So you're going to need to time yourselves for 2 minutes, the companion times for the person that's speaking. Yeah? Okay, I see you in roughly 5 minutes.
Yes, okay.
Is that all right? So if you go to room 13, if you go to room 13, do you know how to do that?
I think I was in 12. I think I was in 12. But no, I have it.
Great. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what's happening with Belonda, but should we give this a go? All right. So I'm going to ask you, and you're going to tell me. Okay, Joaquin. Hi. What's happening now?
I feel my hands warm.
Mm.
And my feet cold.
Mm.
And also I can sense how the air comes in a little bit colder than when I expire, when it's going out.
Okay. What's happening now?
When I breathe deep inside, I feel my head expanding from my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. What's happening now?
I can feel the brightness, the light of outside in my head, like something very soft and like a mother.
Mm. Mm. And what's happening now?
I feel very comfort doing the exercise and taking a rest. I needed a rest.
Mm. What's happening now, Joaquin?
I can feel how how my worries are just imagination.
Okay.
And
So,
the tension, no? I make like this.
yeah. Great. Thank you, Joaquin. So we're just going to come to a close because I'm closing the rooms and inviting folk back. Would you be happy to show the next demo with me?
Yes, great. I will take my earphones. Do you hear me well?
I hear you very well.
Okay, because it's the speaker is good. But if I need the earphones, you tell me.
Okay. Welcome, Inessa. I don't know. It's funny because sometimes people have slow Wi-Fi and I'm not quite sure what they can hear and what they can't hear. Hi, welcome, Prakash.
Right.
Welcome back, Tamar.
Hey. Hey.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh,
Hello.
Wonderful.
Hello.
sorry, Claire.
Hi.
Sorry, did some people get ejected?
That was very quick 5 minutes.
Yes, yes. I will go an extra minute over next time. Thank you, Haya. So before we feed back about that, I'm going to show you the second version of it and ask you to do that and then come back and feedback on both. And I'm going to ask Joaquin, who I've just been working with, to do a demo with me for the next part of this. So if you're happy again to turn off your videos, that would be really helpful. And I would ask you to turn off your mics as well, if that's all right, just so that I can just hear Joaquin and me. Okay, so are you happy for me to ask you the questions? Yeah, great, okay. So what we're going to do this time round is we're going to take
I don't hear you.
did will tell me.
Sorry, I lost you. I lost you for a while. Now.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. So I'm going to say what's happening now, Joaquin. You're going to tell me, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to invite you to just sort of pause and see if you can lean in to the thing that you shared with me. So by leaning in, that might look a bit like this. I can hear the sound of the light in the kitchen, and I just really sort of listen to the sound of the light in the kitchen. Or I can feel something a bit tender and tight in my throat. I just sort of really see if I can open to the sensation of that tenderness and tightness in my throat. Just rest a bit before moving on to the next part. So that's what I mean by leaning in, which just kind of sort of like pausing and resting in that space.
Like connecting with this.
Exactly. Exactly. Good. Thanks. You did it. You did a good word, connecting with it. More simple in a way. Okay, so are you ready? Great. Okay. So what's happening now?
I can feel my breast expanding when I breathe, and helps me to feel present here. And confident also.
And what's happening now, Joaquin?
I hear the sound of AC far away from here. And brings me to the sea, to be like in the beach, walking in the beach.
What's happening now, Joaquin?
I feel my warm hands and this this way of having them in my breast is very comfortable, and I feel like coming back.
Thank you. So we're just going to come to a little close. You can just gently get a sense of transitioning. Thank you. So if you will come back onto the screen. So I just want to share that what I want to do is slightly different to what Joaquin did. And that's okay. I noticed was that Joaquin, it kind of was able to kind of say, feel the ocean through the AC. Can you hear me? Because my internet's gone a bit unstable. Good, thanks. And so in this particular exercise, what I'm encouraging you to do is say, I hear the AC. I just really just sort of listen to the AC without necessarily needing to move into the mind about where that takes me. So we're sort of, in a way, leaning into it with the body. Does that make enough of a distinction?
So if I hear you correctly, you want it to be somatically without verbalizing it.
I want you to verbalize. So the verbalization might be, I feel my hands on my chest. And then what I want you to do is to feel your hands on your chest. But you don't have to then say, it helps bring me here. You just feel your hands on your chest. That's the difference. And it's not that it bringing you here is problematic. It's just that we're trying to keep it simple. I feel my hands on my chest right now in this exercise. We're just trying to keep it simple. Like, oh, what's it like to really feel the contact of my hands on my chest? And it might be that it's like, oh, it brings me here. And that's okay. But we're just, in a way, encouraging ourselves to really notice the body sensing his or her self. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So we go back into rooms, and maybe I make the same breakout room. Let's see if that works. And I'll come back in 6 minutes, 7 minutes, so that you've definitely got 2 minutes each way. So Inessa, I'm going to put in this. Oh, sorry. Have I sent it? Have I made your rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? You can go into them, can't you? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to a room. You okay, Tamar? Have you got a room? I can't hear you because you are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna jump into a room right
You're
now.
not going to join.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not full attention, so I don't want
Okay.
to start and then have to.
Okay. So.
I'll be joining it.
Okay, Prakash, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. Yeah.
Are you with somebody?
I was with Tamar, but.
Oh, I see. Okay. How about I put Joaquin with you?
Okay.
Hang on. I've got to find a way of doing this. Prakash, you are in which room?
4, I think it was.
There you are. So if you go back to room 4.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stick Joaquin in room 4 with you.
Perfect.
So Prakash, you need to go back into room 4. Do you know how to do that?
No, well, I was waiting for the icon to come out. Oh, breakout rooms. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I'd just really be interested to hear if you noticed a difference between the first go round and the second go round of that.
Yeah, Lotta here. What I noticed was that the time, I experienced the time much shorter the second round than the first one.
That's interesting. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Joaquin.
I felt the first time like more random, no? As if we were like little bit of this and little bit of that, and the second was like more like in a deep sense.
So you were able to drop in more deeply.
Yes.
Great. Good. Angela?
Interesting. In the first round, I got bored to ask the question a certain moment. Sorry. And the second round, I really, because maybe it was lower, I really went in the same sensation as my partner. And it was super nice. I really enjoyed also to ask the question.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. Anyone else? Yeah, Irina.
Actually, it was with the second time I had the feeling, I had a tingling in my leg, and it was always coming up, even though when I was breathing. So there were always both feelings at once, and that was kind of interesting. And if I tried to stay with it, something else came up. So my mind was kind of running back and forth, and I didn't have it the first session.
Okay, so there was room for more to be happening at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Angelica.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, is somebody typing? Would it be possible to turn off mute yourself so that we can't hear the keyboard, please? Yeah, Angelica.
When during our session or after our session, a question came up. Due to the connection we felt, there was a tendency to, in a certain way, to convince the other person, it's interesting. Is it allowed to ask? Is it support? Or is it better not to say anything?
So when you had this, what would you have asked?
It was just interesting. It was like, just to yes, and, if you like nodding, but when the other person have closed their eyes, it doesn't make sense if you nod. So
yes,
by saying something.
Yeah, I think it's really important what you're saying. So in the focusing work, the connection between the companion and the person that's focusing is paramount. And so there's that sense of that there's a resonant connection between you. And then you know, as you say, there's this sense of wanting to go, to make so that you feel that you're together, and that's really important. It's really important. So it's interesting to see that it naturally arose in you, between you and your partner. Yeah.
And is it supporting the process, or would it be better just to say nothing?
Yeah. So when you do focusing proper, which we'll have a look at in a bit, actually you repeat back what the person says to them as the companion. So that's where the mirroring comes in focusing proper.
Okay.
But in this, we're just trying to keep it simple to begin with. Now, I'm just wondering, thanks, Angelica, for that. I'm just wondering, do we need a T&P break? Or should we just carry on? I mean, I'm happy to carry on. I'm just checking your levels of energy and toilet needing to go. We're okay. Okay, let's keep going. Great. Okay, so we're going to move on to a slight. I'm just trying. Let me just check in with myself. What shall I do? How long have we got? Okay. All right, so I'm going to give you a choice, which is always a bad idea. So the choice is that we could, so oftentimes what happens is there'll be an experience that we're connecting with, something that's offering itself, let's say, offering itself, wants to be known. And usually there'll be some subtle kind of response or reaction to that in the body or the mind, though the body and mind are not separate. So for example, I'll give you, okay, am I still with you? Good, okay, that's great. So for example, I'm listening. I'm thinking of Haya, when she came to my last session. There's a really loud party next door. There's a really loud. I'm noticing what's happening now is there's a really loud party next door, and then the response is they need to get quiet. They need to get quiet, and there's a bit of a contraction and some irritation, or I'm making it up, a bit of a contraction or irritation in response to what is offering itself in the moment. Yeah. So another example might be, I hear the dogs barking. I'm thinking, I don't want the dogs to mess up the recording. Yes, so there's a bit of me that sort of leapt out of my body. My response is like, call Rosa and Dolly. So in this exercise, which we could do before we do the focusing, it's a chance to really notice on more gross and more subtle levels how we do that with ourselves. So when I first introduced the idea of sharing this, I wrote simple and embodied ways to come into relationship with obstacles. And in the focusing paradigm, the obstacle is often the response we have to the experience. That's where we notice the obstacle. But often we don't notice the obstacle because it's so fast. It's so fast, we miss it. Yeah. And in the focusing paradigm, similar to in the generative coaching, there's a field. Yeah, it's called different things in focusing. Might be called sort of open presence, but there's a field, and that field is equally welcoming to all experience. Yeah. So what we learn to do through practicing focusing is come into a felt sense of our response to what's happening, and find a way to welcome that as well. That's where the obstacle relates to the focusing here. So my sense is it would be good for us to just do a little practice around that specifically before we move on to focusing proper. How does that sound? Good. Okay. Who wants to be my partner? Yes, Alex. Everyone, could you turn off your screens, please? So what's nice about this, Alex, is that I go one way, we go the other way, back and forth. It's a bit of a back and forth there. Angela, is it all right if you turn off your video, please, just so I can see Alex more clearly? There you are. You look like you're in a wooden hut.
I am, yeah, I'm in a cabin in Sweden.
Very nice. It looks like it's nice and warm in your hut.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a sauna, I think, but yeah, it's pretty cozy. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm gonna ask you first, and then after it, we're gonna go back the other way. So I'm gonna ask you, what's happening now? And then you're gonna respond, and then I'll ask, and what's your response to that? Yeah, so usually we'll have a response. It will either be really obvious or less obvious. And like, we don't need to get hooked up if it's not very obvious. We could say, not sure, pretty neutral. Yeah. But if it's obvious, we can kind of go, a bit of whatever the response is. And then I'm going to invite for us both to just sort of settle in and around both what you're noticing and the response. It'll all come clear when we do it. Okay. And if you can remember that, I'm going to ask you to do it backwards to me afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just going to ask you, can you get a little bit closer to the screen just so I can see a bit more of you?
I don't know if it would help if I turn it this way.
Yeah, that's much better. Great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for offering to do this. Great. Okay, so you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So I'm wondering what's happening now, Alex?
Yeah, I'm noticing a little fluttering in my heart space.
Hmm. What's your response to that?
My response was to do a longer out breath and to put my hand here.
Yeah, yeah. So the response was to do a longer out breath and to put your hand on your chest. Yeah, great. So we can just maybe settle a little around the little flickering, fluttering around the heart, and then the longer out breath, and then the hand that moved towards the heart.
What's happening now, Natasha?
Mm. And just set. Well, hang on. Give me a moment. What's happening? I feel there's something about my energy zooming upwards. Is what's happening now.
And what's your response to that?
Shyness. My response to that is shyness. So I'm just going to invite myself to sense into that shooting up kind of ness, and also the shyness and around all of that. Great. Are you ready to go? Yeah? Okay. So, Alex, what's happening now?
Yeah, I notice a slight shallowing of my breath, like an anticipation.
Yeah, what's your response to that shallowing of the breath?
My response was to kind of soften the space between my eyebrows and to just zoom out a little.
Okay. So let's just see if we can settle a bit around something shallowing in the breath and something that wants to soften in the space between the eyebrows there and zoom out. Yeah, just real gentle, real gentle.
You ready to go again? Okay. So, Natasha, what's happening now?
I felt real sort of tenderness actually just then when I was doing that part of the exercise with you. Sort of felt like warmth in my face and a bit of softness and tenderness.
And what's your response to that?
My response is phew, sort of like relief.
So yeah, can you soften into that sense of relief around this sensation in your face?
Thank you. We'll just go one more. So I'm just wondering what's happening now, Alex.
I'm feeling this kind of cool, somewhat pleasurable sensation coming up from my feet. Like, yeah, deeper awareness of my lower body.
What's your response to that?
Yeah, just a sort of a heightened awareness of I don't know, there was a little bit of embarrassment, I think.
Great.
Yeah, a bit of self-consciousness, I think, is the word.
Okay. So something felt self-conscious and something about a greater awareness coming through your feet into the lower body. So we can just see if we can just settle, let that settle in itself.
And what's happening now, Natasha?
I notice a sort of upwards movement in my shoulders. And my response is it's quite amusing for some reason. Yeah. I think it's so vivid that it feels amusing. So I'm kind of, yeah.
There's something about this vivid experience of the raising of your shoulders and some humor or some feeling of that being funny. And just see if you can soften into that experience.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Alex. So, you happy for us to finish there?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Can you just say before everyone comes on, how was that?
Yeah, it felt very beautiful. I felt very connected to you, like I could almost sense what you were sensing. I had a sort of felt experience of what was going on inside you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, come back on, everybody. Okay, so do we have any questions about that practice? No. Yes. Angela?
When you say settle around or settle into it, what do you like?
Good question. Good question. Okay, that's a really good question. So what I'm going to say is, sometimes if I feel someone feels tension and their response is to try and soften the tension, my suggestion is that that is them subtly trying to change the experience of tension, which in the focusing paradigm is an act of forcefulness. So actually it's the tension isn't welcome here, I need to change it and make it soft. So those are the moments that we're trying to catch. Yeah, the moments where we try and change something. So when I say, oh, there's tension in the forehead and there's something that's trying to soften it, and let's settle in and around that, it's more of a let's just be open to this and that and the space around it. that's more true, because the settling might be also a trying to change the experience, but it's more a sort of letting it rest in itselfness, if that makes sense. Making up words here.
Yeah. Rest in the
Rest in itself and in the space around it. Exactly. Fiona, did you have a question?
I did, but it's actually in that last answer. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Ah, Joaquin. Yes. Can't hear
So the instructions, the first is what's happening now, what is your response, and then the invitation to join this, to soft in this.
The invitation is to be aware of this, aware of the response to it. Let it be itself. Let them be themselves and be open to the space around them. Something like that.
And mirroring what the person's saying. Yeah.
What's that, Claire?
And mirroring what the person is saying.
Well, yeah, I did mirror what the person was saying. It's true. I did do that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. So we'll pop you into, I'm going to set up new breakout rooms because some people have had to leave. And what we'll do is, I think I'll invite you back in 8 minutes. 8 minutes time. Okay, shall we do this together, Inessa?
Okay, wonderful.
Okay. So
do I need to stand up?
no, sit down, Inessa. Sit down.
It's better to stand up.
No, it's not better. Sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, you sitting down? Great. Okay.
I'm sitting.
So I'm just putting on my scarf. There we go. So I can't see you, Inessa. I wonder if you turn off your video, whether it would be a better connection.
Are you in Paris, Natasha?
Sorry? Inessa, if you turn off your video, it might be a better connection. Because I can't hear you, sweetheart.
I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I don't have energy and don't have. I wasted time, and I feel like this day didn't start well.
Okay.
Yes, this is
so,
what I'm feeling.
Inessa,
little frustration. And, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we keep it real simple, real simple. So what you're feeling is a bit of disappointment and frustration. Is that right?
Yes. About how this day is.
Yeah.
How this morning and how this day is going. I don't feel any energy. Usually I'm more upbeat.
Yeah.
And today I am a little bit sleepy. And like I feel my body, I don't have enough circulation in my right arm. and it's bothering me. It's tingling all the time since this morning.
Okay, so Inessa,
and I'm usually
in this practice that we're doing, we try to keep the sentences really simple. So when I say what's happening now, you keep it really simple and you say, I can't feel my hand. Something like that. Or I feel tired.
I do feel.
So short sentence, just a short
I feel, okay, I feel my hands tingling.
Yes.
It's
Great.
not enough blood in my hands.
Okay, stop
my
there.
Blood doesn't go to my hands.
Yeah, okay. So in this practice, you would just say, I feel my hands tingling.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great.
Or both of them.
Yeah.
Before just one, and now it's both.
Okay, so stay with me. Stay with me. So, Inessa, you feel that your hands are tingling. Is that right? Do you feel your hands
Say it again, repeat it, please.
Your hands are tingling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right now.
Yeah. And I'm just going to ask you a question. And my question is, what's your response to your hands tingling? But it's got to be a short response. Like, I don't like it. I want it to change.
Yes. My response is disappointment, frustration, because it's unusual. It's out of ordinary.
So, Inessa, in this practice, I'm just bringing you back to me. So what we're going to do is we're just going to breathe with the tingling in the hand and the feeling of disappointment. We're just going to breathe with both of those things. Just breathing with that. You got that? So it's really simple.
Yes, I'm breathing.
That's right.
I'm breathing tingling.
Inessa,
and I'm breathing disappointment.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Perfect. You did it perfect. I'm just inviting everyone back, so we will be with the others. But that's just perfect. Like, it's okay for the tingling and it's okay for me to feel disappointed. Yes. There you are. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah.
This feeling is getting deeper. I wish you can spend like another 30 seconds with me.
I know, I can't, but we can do something before the end of the session, Inessa.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I'm really pleased you could come on your mobile phone. Hi, everybody. Welcome back again. Anything to share about that experience?
You.
Yes. Share away.
I just went you.
Oh, you. Good. That means that it was helpful, I guess. Yeah. Could you just say, Claire, I'm interested in how it was helpful.
It was an experience of connecting with all of my senses, inside and outside, and being able to get some guidance. And we had fun with someone else that I've just met. So it was lovely.
Wonderful. Thank you, Claire. Anybody else?
Well, I noticed that that my response to physical sensations, what I'm like used to notice them, is always to correct myself. So however I am postured, I'm like, oh, okay, you have to go to the middle, you have to find your balance, you have to straighten your spine. I'm very like I'm getting orders, mental orders all the time. And this was quite interesting to see because
We're
it is a
going
memory thing.
Yeah.
Jenny booth or not?
Hang on, I'm just going to
You
turn
going
off
to Jenny booth?
someone that's speaking.
Okay. I'm making you coffee.
Me too.
I don't know who that is. Belonda, thank you. And that's really important that you share that, because often we can't see ourselves doing it. It goes a bit invisible to us. And I think that, say, for example, even if I'm looking for equilibrium, yeah, even if something in me is looking for equilibrium, like I just need to rebalance myself here, or I just need to make sure my breath is down there. Even this is a subtle forcing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we miss it. We miss it so much of the time. So in this, it's really a wonderful way to sort of catch, or there's something that's trying to subtly change something, or there's something that's trying to subtly change something, or there's something that's trying to subtly change something. And then, and in that way, it all comes out in the open, like the basement comes up to the upstairs, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Karina, you need to unmute yourself.
Soon as I had a body sensation, I was immediately in my head. And if Angela asked me to hold both, all of a sudden there was a peaceful space.
Yeah. Yes. So it's a bit similar to what you said previously, like there is enough breadth or spaciousness for there to be a complexity of experience at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So the resonance that we're holding, the field that we're holding with our partner, in a way, it's this very sort of open, aware, relaxed flow space, and into which whatever is offering itself to be known in that moment comes. And so this sort of spacious field, if you like, has a particular way of creating a human connection with whatever we're noticing.
Mm-hmm.
And the noticing might be multiple things.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, uncomfortable and comfortable, both at the same time.
Right.
Yes, Philip.
I think it was the result of just, we've been practicing for an hour. So my response was, I'm just curious to see what happens, rather than try and change it. It was more of a, what happens if I stay with it? And it was mainly tensions and pressures, which all became softer. But I was aware of what I would normally have done. What I normally would have done was relieve the tension, but I didn't feel the urge to do it. It's interesting. It's like the focusing's already changed how I respond.
Yes, exactly. So in a way, there isn't, like, the goal of focusing isn't to relax, I just need to say, though sometimes that might happen. It might not happen, but it might happen. But there isn't, the goal, if there is a goal, is to welcome all experience equally into the field. And what you might notice if you continue to practice is that sometimes we have experience that's very dominant. Yeah, and usually dominant experience will be like aches or emotional experiences or joys. But there are also experiences which are much more shy, and they take a bit more time to come out. And I like to think of them as being like deer in the woods. And I imagine I'm sitting in a glade and I'm waiting for the deer to come out from the forest into the glade. So there's experience like that in us, which you just can't rush. You just can't rush. and does not respond well to force. So it's like it's got an ear on the space. Is it okay for me to come out? Yeah.
Nice analogy.
Mm. Mm.
Dear.
So my sense is that maybe I could do a demo of focusing to show you what it's like focusing proper. I mean, this is a bit of a kind of rushed into focusing, but it might be good for you to get a sense of it more fully. Would you like that? Yeah, okay. So who wants to be my focusing buddy? Yeah, Lotta. So if everybody else turns off their screen. Hi, Lotta.
Hi, Natasha.
Is your name pronounced Lotta?
In Swedish, it's Lotta.
Lotta. It's different to Danish.
Yeah.
I have a very good friend in Denmark, and it's Lotta.
Okay.
But yours is Lotta.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to say it's a Lotta. Lotta.
Ah, Lotta. Lotta. Great.
Yes.
Thank you for being my partner. I really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be your companion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm going to mirror back what you share with me. And I just want to check in with you. I can mirror you back perfectly what you say, or I can maybe not use exactly the same words that you use. Do you have a preference?
No, it doesn't matter to me, because I believe in the connection, so you will feel.
Yeah. Great. And I just invite you that if I get it wrong, or you think, oh, I need it slightly differently, just to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I just want to say before we begin that anything that you share, I really hold in my heart and with a lot of support and tenderness.
I can sense that.
Great. And I'll let you know when we've got about 2 minutes to finish, just so you can have a sense of transitioning out of the space.
Thank you.
Okay. So in this practice, I'm not going to ask you what's happening. You're just going to tell me when you feel like telling me. And my invitation is that instead of saying I am feeling, you say something like there's something like a tension here, or there's something a bit like that. There's a this. So we kind of try and not use I am phrases in the focusing work. But don't worry, we don't have to get it perfect.
No.
Okay, so when you're ready, I'm here with you.
I am ready. So I am aware of my heart. It's a sensation in my heart.
Yeah. So there's some sensation in your heart.
And when you say that, I get I get a feeling of being touched.
So there's something that feels touched.
And what is coming up when I say that is like there is a longing.
Yeah, there's a longing. Welcome.
And then I'm getting curious about what is that longing? What does it stand for? And when I ask that question, is that this isolation in this pandemic is taking its, I don't know how to express it, but takes its space.
Yeah. So I think that there's something around isolation taking its toll in a way. Yeah. And there's this curiosity around longing.
And what's happening when you say that is that it is...
Hello?
Somebody's just come in the room. I'm just going to mute them. It's okay, it's just you and me now.
I'm here, no worries. It's actually making...
And you know, I didn't back up my car. I'll do it right now.
I'm just going to mute somebody. Okay.
It's so wonderful with this technique and things that is happening. So it's okay. I'm just embracing it. It actually makes me happy.
Ah, great.
It's like, it is like a connection.
Yeah, something feels like a connection.
When I say that, I'm getting a little bit more relaxed, and it's like my heart is opening up.
Yeah, I could see a bigger breath there when you said that.
Yeah. And I feel a little bit more relaxed and open.
Something's relaxing and opening.
And I just want to say welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome. So we've got about a minute or so left, Lotta.
What I'm getting aware of now is that it's something healing is happening. It's like the energy is getting charged.
Yeah, something around healing and energy getting charged.
And then I'm getting aware of a gratefulness to you and to the field, everyone in this room.
Yeah, some gratitude there. So I'm just going to encourage you to transition gently, no rush.
Yeah, I will do that with gesture.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. This was like an, what do you say, ego trip. To get the attention, the fully attention. It was beautiful.
Yeah, like human connection, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for taking the risk.
Thank you.
Is it okay if we invite the others onto the screen?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, welcome back. Now, if you're happy to run over by 10 minutes, I'm happy to run over by 10 minutes. But if you need to go, just pop out. I just wanted to invite, did anyone, how was that? Did anyone notice anything, have any questions? Everyone's gone quiet. So, yeah, Angela.
So the question would be, I mean, Lotta spontaneously went into what was happening next for her. Is this like typical also of a focusing session that just, if
Yes,
the person
exactly.
Okay.
So in the focusing, the companion doesn't ask the question anymore.
Okay.
The focuser just notices what wants to be known, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a sense, whatever wants to be known, and then you just follow it, as it were.
Okay, thank you.
And what I noticed was that Lotta, I mean, it was her first time doing it with not a lot of instruction, that sometimes she used the words, the sentence beginning with I, and as the companion I was responding, oh, there's something that feels longing, or there's something that notices this. And the reason why that language is used is because when you say something, it implies that it's a part of a bigger experience. There's something like this implies there's also something like this, and there's something like this. Whereas when we use the language of I am this, it narrows our horizon down to one experience. And in the focusing paradigm, what we're doing is we're opening out. So there's something like this implies there's also something else and something else. And in a way, when I use an image, I imagine that what wants to be known in the session is a bit like stars in a constellation. So maybe this in my back and that in my throat and this in my chest and that memory there. And then there's this whole night sky in which the constellation is sort of glowing. And it's not like I need to figure it out. It's just like, here's the constellation today.
I found it a gift that Lotta was sharing, and we were listening, we were looking. It was a gift listening. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I thought it was,
Corina.
even through the screen, I could sense your presence, how you were with Lotta and how Lotta reacted to it. And that was very touching.
Yes. I mean, one thing that I really get from Stephen Roberts' work is this sense of really creating a good connection with the person that you're working with. So in the focusing work, that isn't really explicitly taught. But what I've noticed is that if I bring that to focusing, it makes a huge difference just to kind of really, feel into each other and to make that intention like I'm here with you and I'm really for you, however you want to language that. And then the person, if you say it sincerely, the other person catches it and they're like, okay, we're in this together. And then something can kind of emerge more fully into that resonant field. Oksana, did you raise your hand? Oh, there you are.
Yes, I did.
Because the squares keep shifting. Hi, Oksana.
Hi, Natasha. Thank you very much for a very interesting and useful session. Thank you.
Pleasure.
This is really a lot. It's really reach the map more about focusing, about felt sense and the utilization principle and about acceptance. I mean, the quality of presence and the connection. I think it's really useful for all practitioners, generative coaching, generative trance, creative mind. So thank you for offering. And you have also 2 more sessions, right? And what are those 2 will be about?
Well, one's about making generative connections in nature, yeah, and the other one is an invitation to open to the felt sense, which is linked to focusing and non-duality through a kind of Buddhist practice. Yeah. So yeah,
Great.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you very much for sharing this really important, useful experience with the community.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for all of you who came here. We are also will be in touch on our Telegram channel, and Sunday it will be Julian Russell generative coaching practice session with his demo and Q&A, and also exercise and groups and discussion. And on Monday, Yulia Abramova will do a session about generative change and using and trauma, working with trauma and generative change together. So we are looking forward to those sessions too. And Natasha, thank you very much again for this and such a beautiful background. This is your wild house, right? Deep in the mountains.
Yeah, not mine, but the place I live. Yeah.
Where is it?
In Crete. I will definitely post the quotes just to say, and also I asked Steve, and he said that if you were interested in doing more focusing, I offer really short courses by donation online. So I'll send the link to that as well in case you might be interested, and I'll send the quotes. Yeah. Thank you so much for being so wholehearted.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you, Natasha.
Yes, unmute. Thank God. Unmute, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was great. Thanks so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Oksana.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Claire.
Ines,
Bye, Karina.
say something.